On June 7th, I beat my first insane demon, Fallen Club, which there will be a video on soon enough. And since my next hardest will be a 9 circles level, why not make a 9 circles level to help improve my skill? So let's see what I made and how I made it. So I have the level right here, the 9 circles level, and of course the first thing I have to do is, well, find a song for the level. I was originally gonna do a ruckus song, but then I decided to do something else. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight to Newgrounds to try to find a song, because I have no idea what song I'm gonna use. Trying to find something that can work. I decided to go for Rapture by Dread Orpheus, which you'll hear in the background right now, as I think it fits with the style that I was envisioning for the level. Yeah, that works. So it's kind of like the Woodkid intro, but faster. That could work, and maybe I can also do like fading the background in from black. A pad here that boosts you up into the air. I then began with the gameplay, and I was going for hard demon difficulty with this cube gameplay. Maybe I can do like a green orb here. Nice. I really like doing that like green orb thingo where you hit it late to go off a block. Maybe you'll go into yellow portal and a blue orb here. So you might think you have to hit that late, but in reality you have to hit it early. Actually, it's better to hit it late. I will continue making similar gameplay to this, taking some inspiration by the gimmicks that was used in Sharp Minor. It's one of my favorite 9 circles levels, and so you can expect me to take many ideas from that level. Maybe I can just do blocks like this. I don't want it to be like too much increase, like maybe it'll just stay on this layer right here. Should I do black orbs already? Maybe not. I didn't really know in the beginning if I was gonna do the simple or modern version of the 9 circles deco, so it was also pretty weird for me to decide what type of gameplay I would use. Maybe this pillar right here can have a black orb attached to it. Yeah, let's say something like this. Here could be probably where the ship starts. I'd build some more gameplay until finally ending off with a staircase and the most obvious fake in the world. Maybe that won't work. So let's see some stuff like this. A pink orb here that goes into a ship part. That's the entire gameplay for this first cube, so let's see what it looks like before I start structuring it. I was originally gonna build the gameplay up to the drop, but I decided to work on the decoration for the cube part instead. I thought that would be more interesting, and I really liked how the decoration turned out. So what I'm getting the vibes for this song is kind of like a purplish, like dark background. So for the structure, let's just outline it first with some actual outlines. I don't really know why I don't do this when I build my layouts, but you know, I would start with the block design like I do with all of my other glow design block designs. Thingo. I just added outlines, a base, and some glow to begin with. So this glow right here can just copy color 1 and be blending. So I'll do multiple layers of this. So let's say I'll do a layer of big glow, then I'll do a third layer, and will be a kind of like white blending. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So let's say I'll just copy this glow to these edges right here. I then implemented the classic 9 circles connector objects, but they were a little bit hard to implement well, so I spent a lot of time readjusting them later on in the video. So, you know something that I just forgot? I forgot to add in the black inner outlines. How could I? You know, in my style, which is mostly just Vit 12 stuff a lot of the time, I have to add in the black outlines. And after adding some more glow to the design was when I began to make some interesting choices with the block design, but I actually managed to make them work pretty well. Let's say I'll use some of these 9 circles slopes, but not on like this super opaque opacity. I mean, that actually just looks fine. I was gonna make this like lower opacity, Okay, that does look better. That looks weird. Okay, just the half opacity stuff works. Maybe I can have some, let's say some very, very slight white glow coming from these structures. And after adding even more glow to the first structure, I would add some more details to the structure inside of the main structure. It sounds pretty confusing, but I did manage to make something that worked pretty well. So let's say if I make this brighter with more hue change. I then added these classic 2.0 objects, and I gave them some hue variation to make it so that the block design wasn't so monochromatic. It's really hard to work with these blocks, but every single time I work with these blocks, I hope that it turns out good. So that means that I can just add these right here. Guess that means I can delete this inner base because it's just invisible. But I can add these outlines right here. I see a problem with this, and that is that it's way too bright. And a lot of this just feels very messy. And after adjusting the colors even more, I would try to pull some of the main details in the block design using an area tint trigger. So that means that it'll just HSV, target group 2, center will be player, and maybe this. It doesn't work because I don't have previous shaders on. It still doesn't work, okay. Yeah, I like that. And then right here probably I can begin with a sort of like pulse loop for the background. Maybe something that I can try to do is make the ground like entirely white and then use solid ground. For the theme of the level, I wanted to go for an Arctic 9 circles level, so making the ground spikes white made a lot of sense. And then put an end to that there. Let's see, make all of this white, and yeah, that looks pretty good. And then below this, I can take some of these objects right here on T2, make them kind of like the background color, but make it brighter and have more hue change. But with that, I really like this ground spike design already. It's not done. I think if I add this spike right here and just make it I think this just works as it is, and maybe I can put like, let's say a saw blade in the ground, like an entirely white saw blade. Maybe I can copy paste that around everywhere and maybe even flip it some places. But you know, I kinda like this ground spike design. Yeah, I really like this ground spike design. I then added some stars into the level for some reason, but they looked pretty good and there wasn't anything wrong with it except that I copy pasted them a lot through the level. It's an 8 object star, so maybe I can like, I won't like spam this everywhere, just like, yeah, just place them around like the structures. Actually, you know what, I think it would be better for me to add like a middle piece to this. And after adding these stars throughout the level, I would come back to the block design and began work on the 3D. Yeah, I like this. This is coming together, but oh no, I forgot something. Let's add the 3D. It can never be a level without 3D, you know? If your level doesn't have 3D, then your level isn't a level. For the 3D itself, I just made some outlines, a base, some glow, and a black inner outline inside of the 3D. Even though it's so simple, it helps with the level a lot, fills up a lot of empty space, and just makes the design look way more 3D, as it's in the name. I'm gonna take some inspiration from the Silent Dictus part and actually add some of these objects to the parts, scale them down like a lot, and just add these to the sides of the design. And I think you can guess who I got this tip from, but it actually works really well. So now for this spike, I think I'll just go for like my generic spike making stuff. I've already gone through this design in my normal 9 circles redecoration video, so if you watched that video, you'll know how I made this spike design. So let's hue change this and make it have more brightness. Then let's copy paste this, scale it down. Just make it so that this is layer 4. This can just copy this and be layer 5. So now if I add this, scale it down and move it a little bit down, then yeah, I have a smaller version of this spike. Yeah, that works. I was going to make the inside black as well, but with the slight colorage, it actually looks pretty good. I then adjusted some stuff in the level even more and began with the custom background being the same as the normal 9 circles redecoration, but this time I will add a layer below this, I promise. I don't know what I'll exactly do for this transition part, but I'll think of something. Now what I can do is maybe work on a custom background. I can make base custom background being similar to the one I made in the 9 circles. Redecoration being just a simple moving pillar. Yes, something like that. Let's just make it be right here. And after making the first layer of the custom background move, I began with some overlay glow to the part. Actually, why am I using this? I can just use the gradient trigger. Just like a color that is black with 0 opacity. Yeah, like that. So now the only thing that I gotta do is probably just the block design. So yeah, I'll do the block design and then I'll see if there's anything that I want to add after that. And while I'm filling in this block design, which took about 2 hours, I'll humbly ask you to please subscribe. These videos take a lot of time to make and any little support would be highly appreciated. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers and let's see if we can get there for July. But let's get back to my 9 circles level. And yeah, with that, the entire block design is filled in. And holy, that took a while, dude. I've no idea how it took me so long to make this, but it did sort itself in the end when I just copy and pasted the final structures. Now, I think what I want to do now is probably work on like a parallax scrolling background. So what I'll try to use these objects right here, just make them white with no touch. I really liked this parallax background, it fit with the level and it didn't take that long. The only problem was that the movement took a while to master. It feels way too harsh. And then this can just be 600, let's see. I definitely need to copy and paste this. I then made it a little bit darker so that it didn't blend with the ground spike design. The first ones were. This looks kinda goofy, but it matches with the aesthetic that I'm going for, which is like a kinda goofy 9 circles level. Also, if my voice sounds weird, it's very early in the morning and I'm tired. Then I'll just put down some black glow to kind of finish everything out. I then added a sort of transition to the beginning of the level, which is pretty much the same as what I did in the Silent Dictures video, except this one was way simpler since it didn't even move across the screen. It looks pretty decent. I think I want to add some more background pulses and maybe work on a solid design, but this feels kinda full already. I then added my cube to the level just to show that I was the creator of it and no one else made it except for me. Scale it down significantly, I can't make it that tall. I then added the rest of the background pulses to the level and with that the entire part was done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you want a part 2 then leave a comment asking for a part 2. But let's get on to the final showcase of the part. Nice. Yeah, I really like this. So, yeah, that was the first part for my 9 circles level.